I'll call the regular city council meeting of the Lakeside Council to order. And we stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody. Next item is roll call of counselors. So starting with Counselor Sarah Coates.
Here.
Counselor Don Dunn. Here. Counselor Charlene Higgins.
Here.
Counselor Sherry Kinsey.
Here.
Counselor Tom Miller.
Here.
Counselor Alan Pointer. Here. All present. Thank you. Citizen comments. Do we have any citizens wanting to make a comment at this time?
Surprise. Well, I just didn't see community reports, so I thought I could do it in the citizen comments.
So 3 minutes.
After a while, you become part of so you guys, we're really excited about the Experience Lakeside event coming up. And lots of information's all over the place about that. New flyers are being made as all of the details get worked out. We have incident command flow charts and department heads appointed for every single aspect of the venue. Then they have people below them, and those plans are all moving ahead. To keep it short, the outpouring of help from the volunteers to the community has been heartwarming, not just for this event. Being contacted multiple times throughout the week for groups of volunteers who are seeking to help make Lakeside the very best it could be. One group's working on the horseshoe pits at the county park, and improvements are being made, but they seek supplies. We're also asking everyone to contact the county parks department and beg them to save our pits. I was told last week that they were planning on pulling them out because no one played. Everyone should call and email and let them know that we do play. We'll fix them back up and save our pits. The second one is the Business Owners Association that Adam Hand has started up, and all business owners are involved in it. And they're all meeting at noon at the lodge. That'll be the very first meeting. And anyone who is interested in helping with that organization is welcome to attend and help that organization start off on the best foot possible.
What day is that?
Saturday.
The 12th, right? Yes.
Yeah, this Saturday. The third group is actually a large group of multiple people and groups. A counselor, myself, the writers, local veterans like Mafia, Crystal and her troops of volunteers that are made up mostly of veterans are all begging for the same thing. Please let us volunteer under the strict guidance of city staff to clean headstones of veterans and others, to remove trash, to pay respect at our city cemetery. The city website asks for volunteers and the comprehensive plan mentions it. But when we apply, we have been told no repeatedly. We've read through the state and local ordinances, the revised statutes regarding our cemetery, and it is entirely up to the city to allow volunteers, maintenance, etc. We would love to submit a list of names and contact numbers along with the city volunteer waiver forms, which could use a little updating, and get approval with whatever condition the city wants for us to make a presence in this cemetery, for us to love on our cemetery. Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry. Any other citizen comment? Come up and introduce yourself and state your city residence.
I guess not.
False alarm. All right, we'll move on to business consent agenda. 3 items. One is approval of February 10th, 2022 regular city council meeting. B is an acceptance of February expenses and payroll reports. And C is approval of city manager to sign contract with Western Display Fireworks for our fireworks. So we can send in a first installment of $3,700 towards the fireworks display this July 4th. Your motion to
I
accept.
move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion been made by Councilor Pointer, seconded by Councilor Ness to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6 is presentation by Steve McCarthy and Shirley Bennell.
No, that's not.
Oh, did I skip one?
Yeah, you skipped one.
What?
Quarter five, the program.
Okay, sorry about that. Number 5, approval of core grant for airport fencing project and authorizing city manager to sign the contract. As you may recall, we approved this project at our last city council meeting. So we had to meet with the airport grant people. Melissa and I met with them and got everything in order so that she could sign the contract and we could move forward with this project finally. So need a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve the core grant for the airport fencing. And for the city manager to sign.
Excellent. And did I hear you saying it, Don?
Correct.
Motion been made by Councilor Miller and seconded by Councilor Don Nuss to approve the core grant for the airport fencing project and authorize city manager to sign the contract.
Mayor, can I
Yeah.
just add, sorry to interrupt, but can I add, there was a $7,000 match for that grant that I don't know that was budgeted for. And so I reached out to our city engineer, Dyer Engineering, and they are going to meet that match for us. And so I do want to publicly thank them on the record and in the public for that. That's really a nice thing they've done for us.
Great. It is. Any other discussion on this topic? None? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Now, number 6, presentation by Steve McCarthy and Shirley Bennell regarding the UTV takeover.
Where you is he on Zoom?
Who are we looking for?
Steve McCarthy.
I do have a Steve on here.
Yeah, they can't.
It's on the screen.
Should be able to hear it. That seems.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
He'll get a minute to introduce himself here. I'll take just a minute of your time. I'm Shirley Bennell, Lakeside Riders, and I'm here with Crystal Hopper, and I'll let her introduce herself in a minute. Before you meet them, we want council to know that the Lakeside Riders fully support the event permit that UTV Takeover has submitted. We're here to help them in any way possible, and we really appreciate them considering us here in Lakeside for a possible campground venue for their event. It's truly a huge opportunity being offered and would be a great help in our community. So thank you, guys. I want everyone to refer to Lakeside's comprehensive plan, page 11, number 2. It quotes, to pursue funding opportunities and partnerships that enhance recreational opportunities. Well, this would check that box. Page number 12, number 14, quotes, encourage connections and interactions with ATVs. Another box checked right there. Saying yes will also mean the city receives a check that they could take to the bank. And with that, I'll give the floor to Crystal and Steve.
Thanks, Shirley.
Hi, I'm Crystal Hopper. I'm with the UTV takeover team, and I am one of their gate security leads. I also work with the charitable contributions to the different groups in the area. Our gate team is made up with various groups. My focus is in veteran support. We have a lot of veterans and our local veteran support community. I've been working with Steve and Jim and the rest of the UTV takeover family for a little while now, and they're just a really great group of people. When the opportunity came up and we started talking about, it's just such a big, exciting event every year. And then we have this long list of people that they want to come, but it's just we just kind of got so big that we need more room, and we want to be able to offer and help out our local community. And so this is an opportunity I see as would be a benefit to just give families that come to this event even a different type of a place that they can come rather than staying over in the typical area in the state park and all that in Boxcar. So Steve is on the line, and I have him ready on here, but I think that you guys should be able to hear him now on. And so he's going to kind of give you guys more details and everything. But I just want to say thank you for having us, letting us talk, and thanks to Lakeside Riders.
Thank you, Crystal.
Steve is on here. But he's not saying anything.
Hey, hey. Okay, here we go.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. I appreciate your patience there. So yeah, as Christy and Shirley mentioned, I'm with UTV Takeover. I'm one half of it. My partner Jim is from Oregon. I'm from Washington. We've been doing the Takeover event down at Boxcar. We originally started in Coos Bay, Oregon. We've been doing it for the last 6 years. We've done over 20 events now across the country in places like Virginia, Utah, Oklahoma, and Oregon. We're mainly focused around families. It's kind of described as a county fair with an off-road theme. And so what we're looking to do is, as Crystal mentioned, is as we've grown over the years, finding camp spots and places to park people that have access to the dunes is starting to become a little bit of an issue. This year we sold out over 700 camp spots in less than 4 minutes and actually crashed our server. So we're looking for opportunities up and down the coast to kind of expand our camping and our reach into other communities. With that being said, what we're proposing to do this year is we'd like to first help cross promote and sell out the county park. I believe right now there's 25 spots left. We've been in talks with the county commissioner, John Sweet. He's fully supportive of that and is excited for the opportunity to get some UTVs in Lakeside, expose people to the community there, the lake, and the shops and businesses. We've also spoken to Osprey Park. They have 27 spots that we're looking to cross promote and help sell for them, in addition to their recreational field, which we'd like to use for dry camping. It's just north of the campground. In addition to that, we're proposing to do a short-term lease for the Lakeside Airport to accommodate between, around 150 trailers. Currently, we have a waiting list of 400 trailers that are all looking for places to park. Most of these are families coming from out of state. It would, be new eyeballs and new people in Lakeside. Most of these families have average household incomes of 150 to 200 grand a year, with an average age of 40 to 60 years old. So we think that will complement local businesses and organizations there in Lakeside. So what we're looking to, is there any questions or anything on that, or should I continue?
Anybody have any questions of Mr. Go ahead. Councilor.
So specifically about the airport, I didn't see any plan to repair it when you were done.
Yes, so good question. So we've done this before, and I can get letters of reference. We did this in Waynoka. It had a very, it's Waynoka, Oklahoma, very similar situation in Lakeside. It was a town, that was looking for additional revenue. They were surrounded by fields that ranchers owned. And last year we put almost 300 trailers in that field. We did a short-term lease. We provided all the staff, the restrooms, the garbage, all the signage to get people to and from the site. We've done that there the last 3 years. First year we started with, 50 people. A lot of people weren't interested in dry camping. Once, the event got bigger, I think the next year we were into the hundreds. And then last year we were close to 300 people. We always pride ourselves on leaving the sites better than we found them. So not only are our participants, in older age, more responsible business owners, so they help out quite a bit, but we also spend the whole day cleaning as needed to make sure that everything is returned and, better than we found it. So we think that if given this opportunity is granted, that we can bring 150 trailers into the airport. I think we could generate between $150 to $200 per trailer. If we did 150 for dry camping, that would generate revenue of $22,500. We would like to split that with the city, just kind of off the cuff. This is totally open for, a proposal and a longer conversation. But we could be looking at $50 per trailer going to the city, which would generate $7,500. We would cover the cost of $750 for trash, another $700 for the portable restrooms. We would also cover the daily cleaning of the restrooms. We use local businesses for that. That's another $2,100. We would also work by bringing in staff. Normally we work with Crystal and bring in local charity groups, and in exchange for labor, we donate to their groups. I think we could donate between $4,000 to $6,000 to local groups. We'd work with Shirley and Crystal to, make sure that that money stays in Lakeside as well. So I think total expenses, we would be at about $13,400, and that puts a little money in Takeover's pocket of about $9,000. So we're kind of looking to split this. The revenue is not what's important to us. Yes, we are a business, but what's really important to us is cross-promoting the town of Lakeside, getting new sources of revenue into the town, and making sure that when people come for our week and on their family trip, that they return multiple times throughout the year and stay at, local businesses, hotels, motels. We're right now averaging, probably 100. We'd like to think that we could get 150 families in there, 150 trailers. If we assume each trailer has 4 people in it, we're talking about 600 people. If people spent, $100 per day in the local shops and businesses, we'd be looking at additional revenue for the town of $60,000. For example, in Waynoka, when we went there last year, there was $500,000 spent in 1 week. They did like 4 months worth of revenue in the 1 week that we were there. I don't think that we're going to start out like that. So I think realistically, we'd probably be looking between $60,000 and $75,000 that would get spent in the town. And then, like I mentioned, more importantly, we're hoping that once people come and they get exposed to the east side of Highway 101, and now that it has dune access, lake access, park access, most people that come to Takeover, yeah, they enjoy the side-by-sides and the sand dunes, but more importantly, the common theme is they enjoy the outdoors. So getting them to bike, hike, walk, enjoy the lake, kayak, all those things. I think people will come down to our event, spend the day down there, and then they'll come back and spend the afternoon and night in Lakeside. So we think that Takeover can complement the goals of the city, and we think we could, help bring some new revenue and some new people to the town.
All right.
Any
other questions? Mr.
Well, I don't.
Pardon?
I'm not sure if, Steve, you can answer this question, but we do pump effluent onto that field. So I don't know how dry and hard packed it gets. And I don't know if it's safe to have people camping where we pump effluent.
Understood. If this was something you guys were interested in, we would come down and do a site visit. I work in an engineering firm during the day, so we would come down, make sure that all parties involved are in agreement on where we should put trailers and where we shouldn't, how they would enter and exit the property. And You know, what we normally did in Waynoka in Oklahoma is we'd use 5-gallon buckets. We would lay out the camp spots. They would all be pre-sold and reserved, so it wouldn't be a free-for-all. We would number the buckets. We would know exactly how many people are coming before they get there to make sure that we have adequate, you know, restrooms, you know, garbages and staff to accommodate everyone. We also think the airport's a prime site because it's at the entrance of town. So I think it'll minimize, you know, any negativity from local, you know, residents about UTVs going in and out of Lakeside. But I think this also gives us a unique opportunity to, you know, kind of do a trial run for what UTVs and side-by-sides could do for Lakeside. And, you know, I think after this, you guys would be able to see hard numbers on the increase in revenue, increased in business. And, you know, and to be honest, if there's anything negative that comes about this or from this, that could be used in future planning as you guys move forward with possibly opening more of Lakeside to side-by-sides.
So just a minute, Shawty, if you don't mind. So to address a couple of concerns, the number one issue would be, of course, the Oregon Aeronautics Division allowing us to shut down the airport and for the 4 or 5 days you would be here. And what my understanding is they're okay with that. The second issue, of course, would be checking with the wastewater treatment facility to make sure they could store the water that they would normally spray each night on the airport, to store the water until you guys are off the field. Those two things would be our major concerns. Charlene, go ahead.
Okay, and the third concern is that airport has some very sensitive sprinkler systems right there underneath the ground that can't be driven on. So we wanted to we would have to lay out a very exact area of where it's okay to drive and where it's not. We have to make sure that it's not drinking over. And I'm a big support of this. Are we going to have an event? Like, are we going to be have any special accommodations for the event, such as a opening North Lake Road so that we can get to Osprey Point and back during the event?
This was.
Yeah, I think our proposal would be, what we would like to do is, I agree on the layout of sprinklers and things like that. We would adjust our layout. We could put up orange construction fencing, make sure that's maintained and monitored by staff. We would like to incorporate local businesses through, you know, some of our events like the treasure hunt. We would like to propose to temporarily open up access to Osprey. Again, we think maybe that fits in an idea of doing a trial run for a 4-day period. That way we don't have to have UTVs accessing, you know, through the county park into Osprey. But all these things we're open to. Our goal here really is to get more people into Lakeside, get more people at our event, and give them a legal place to park. The thing we don't want is people coming up from Arizona or California, wherever they come from, and then parking illegally on shoulders and things around the area. We want to make sure that we're staying in front of the crowds. We're controlling the chaos and making sure that this event is successful for all parties and agencies involved. We work close with the county, the Forest Service, and private landowners. And you know, we're hoping to do the same here with Lakeside.
And in addition to the access to the campground that they would, you know, have more spaces available at, we'd like to ask as part of the permit application that the visitors would be able to return to their campsites after the events on the sand. And some of them go later than dusk. And again, like Steve mentioned, as opposed to those folks possibly getting a ticket for returning 20 minutes after supposed dusk, we would hope that we would allow our visitors to attend the event and return legally.
So basically, go ahead, Steve.
That we would cross promote that. The dunes, for example, close down at midnight. We do have events that go till 11. There's only a couple things that go that late. Most people traveling that distance to Lakeside would come back for dinner, and they'd be back well before dusk or dark. But what we do with the local sheriffs and the Forest Service is we cross promote that through our website. We hand out over 300 magazines at the event, or 3,000 magazines at the event. that list local rules and regulations. We also hand out camping letters to everyone that enters the event. We have 4x6 postcards that have bullet points, so we can add some rules and regulations about if you're staying in Lakeside, this is what's to expect. Because I mean, our hope is that we want people to obey the rules. We want this to be a positive thing. And normally we find that people don't do things on purpose. More than likely, it's a lack of education and communication that gets people to, accidentally break laws. So we pride ourselves on that, on communicating early and often to make sure that everyone understands if they reserve a spot here, these are the rules that come with it, and those things will be monitored. So, we'd like to work together on that and not just dump a bunch of people that are uneducated into your town. We would never do that.
What dates of the event?
20th.
Yeah.
20th to 26th.
Yeah, it's the event technically starts on Wednesday, June 22nd. Is our first day of activities. We do activities on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Technically on the website, it says the event goes till Sunday, the 26th, but really that's a, packing up and everyone's heading home. So most campers would show up Tuesday evening, and then they would be leaving Sunday. Sunday by noon is normally what we tell people.
So June.
Yeah.
In June, yes.
Father's Day. Okay.
And so basically, the way I see this, you're asking us to suspend our rules or to allow people to ride on North Lake Road from Osprey to the route and allow people to ride after dark. Those two things, I think that we would have to get some legal advice on, because we do have a law that says you cannot do that. So I think it'd be prudent of us to talk to our city attorney and see if we can find a way to maybe suspend that rule for that week. I don't know. So.
Well, Mayor, in terms of the.
Sure.
the
I
curfew-
appreciate that.
Councilor
I think if we,
Mr.
I think
McCarty.
if we could, oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was
Councilor.
gonna say, I believe for the 4th of July, we extended the curfew for ATVs.
Yeah, okay.
And for many events.
Yeah, wait a minute, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed. I just want to make sure that we're doing things legal, right?
Yeah, and I think our first priority would be extra camping without changing any of the rules or access. I think as a bonus to us, we would like to support Osprey and give people a variance that if they misjudge their time, that they could get back with a warning. But we're not at this moment not looking to adjust the rules. We're happy for a little gray area, but really what we're asking for is legal areas to park additional trailers for a 4-day period.
Sure, and I'm all in favor of supporting Osprey Point, for sure. So we'll try to work out the details and try to make everybody happy.
Yeah, this is good. This is a good event. Very good event. We'll make it work.
All right, anything else?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve, for coming for us.
No problem. Thank you for your time and opportunity, and I look forward to future conversations and working with everyone.
I'm sure we'll be talking more, so thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
All right, thank you all for participating. Next, we have a presentation by Diane O'Brien regarding the city wayfinding project. Is Diane on?
He's here.
Diane's here.
I'm already here.
All right.
Did you say something about taking the mask off?
Oh, when you're speaking?
No, you're speaking.
When you're
yeah.
speaking?
Yeah,
Yeah, better.
Sure.
yeah. It makes it easier for the people online to hear you.
Okay, my name is Diane O'Brien. I am the current president of LRP, Lakeside Revitalization Partnership. Some of you may know the organization. We've been involved for about 8 years, formed about 8 years ago. And the basic idea was it grew out of our economic committee to try and do anything we could to improve the Lakeside economy and whatever we could do to help with tourism. Presently, we have 2 major projects that we're starting. One we have completed. We had 3 at the beginning of COVID. COVID shut us down for a while. We did get the kayak launch over on Eel Lake. That was one of our projects. The other project is a mural project that will be over the next 4 to 8 years. We hope to get 4 murals, large murals in town. One is already in front of the watershed office on 8th Street as you come into town. We have 3 other locations that we're looking at. We already have the funding for one for this summer. The other thing, the other project that we're looking at is signage. Most of you are familiar, or I know the council is familiar with the group of students who came down from Oregon State 8-10 years ago and did a beautiful job of presenting what they thought the city needed. That book was like this thick as recommendations of what they thought we needed to do. It is in the library for anybody that's interested. Out of that committee grew another committee called the Wayfaring Committee, and that was in 2016. The city paid $2,000 for a group of citizens, and let's see, it was Kurt Kelling, Dean Warner, Mike Smalley, Dee Drummond, John Reese, and Mike Mader to come up with some ideas as to how to improve the coming into Lakeside, going out to Lakeside, helping the tourists and the citizens find their way around it, and they called it wayfinding. The main goal was to strengthen the Lakeside identification. I mean, it's just Lakeside. Why are they here? What are they doing? We need to broadcast. Why are we here? What are we doing? And to encourage tourism, make sure that they are welcome, and then to improve the navigation through town for everyone. Their findings that they criticized us the most for was that there was no consistent signage existing. Everybody put their signs up wherever they wanted. There was, if you were a business, you could put up a sign. If you were not a business, you could put up an organization, and then no organization, no uniform design. And also that the welcoming signs were all, we have, if you look around Lakeside, we have 5 signs that say, welcome to Lakeside. None of them match. They're all different. So their first comment was, find a design you like and stick with it. So that was the first thing. And the other thing is that there's no connection. There's lots of signs for Lakeside out on 101, but there's nothing that says, here's where you turn to go to Lakeside, except the big camper thing. And what you do after you turn, nothing. So one of the things that they said is that you need signage from 101 into Lakeside and to tell you what to do or where to go once you get there. So our present project is 2 signs, just to start small. We have more on the agenda, but we have funding for 2 signs already. And we were asking your permission to make 2 signs and to make sure that we're not stepping on any ordinance toes in doing so. We would like to put 1 sign up on the corner of 8th and Airport. So when you come in on Airport and you stop and Hennick's is on the left, there's a V like this. Where's town? There is a sign that says City Center to the right. However, when the trees are out, that sign blends in beautifully with the green and you don't even see it. So what we would like to do is make it, depends on how we go. We have 2 projects there. One would be to take that sign down and move a sign, and I'm no artist, give me a board and a pencil and a hammer and I can build it. Don't ask me to draw it. So this is what we're looking at. 4x4s with 8-inch wide lettering. It says the lake, the county park, the city center, and there was one other that we were going to put on that. Anyway, the one there would have 4 signs, no, 3 signs on that. I'm sorry. That could go if we have permission from Mr. Barnett to put it on the property with the coffee shop on the corner, as long as it doesn't interfere with his ingress and egress. So if we go there, then we would probably put 4 signs because it would say the city center, the county park, Lakeside, and downtown. Then if that doesn't work, or for some reason Mr. Barnett says no, then we would stay with the sign that's there that says welcome to City Center to the right, and just add the lake is also that way, and so is the county park. And that would be the 2 big signs underneath that. The other sign we like to put up would be right at the corner of 8th Street and North Lake. Okay, you've gotten yourself into town now. Where is anything? So in that garden that you guys have been so willingly weeding for the last couple of months, we would like to put very same sign. Not going to change the design. We're going to look alike. And that one would say the lake is to the right, the county park is to the right, the city hall is to the right, and the library is to the right. Left. No, I think we should leave it right. Anyway, so I want to make sure that we're not breaking any rules by doing so, and that if you approve of us doing that far. If we go any further with more signs, we'll come back.
Probably be good to add Osprey Point, and Lakeshore Lodge, RV
Well,
places.
that's businesses.
Yeah.
Those are businesses,
Yeah.
not
We have
cities.
to
It's gonna
look
get
at
the
that.
signage in trouble.
I
Yeah.
couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, I was just saying to add the RV parks to it as well. See, I have found lost RVs wandering around town and had to guide them into an RV park.
Well, I should have made it more clear. Again, I can't draw, but after the word lake was gonna be a big fish. And after the word county park was gonna be a tent with a lake around it and
I
some
like that
trees.
idea.
So it looks like that's where the tenting is. So we don't have to put more signs to say that's where it is.
Yeah.
Then the city center was gonna have some little cartoon-like buildings type thing. So there will be drawings on these signs. And all we have to do is decide, we've had committee meeting after committee meeting. Somebody said, well, you need more color than black and white. So my suggestion was, well, let's do one banana yellow, let's do pink, let's do one lime green, and one let's do big blue. I mean, it'll get a lot of attention. That was voted down because it's too much like Hawaii. So I agree. It'll either be black with white lettering or white with black lettering. I think the pictures that we're putting on would show up better on the white, but just need permission from you guys before we go any further.
Okay, comment, go ahead.
Yeah, anything that's like on the road, on the sides of the road, usually it has to do with the county if it's on their road, which is 8th Street, North Lake. That's
I talked to
theirs.
the county and they
Okay.
said as long as we were 31 feet off center, we were off their property and they didn't care. That's why I went to Steve Barnett and the other thing, I think that's either city, no, that's not city property. I think that's Opie's party, the one who owns the building on the corner of Adams. What's the garden that we have there?
The garden.
Yeah,
The building next to the liquor store.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still owned by Rusty Alfred.
Yeah, yeah, that's private
Yeah.
property.
Yeah, that's private property.
Yeah, and Russ has given us permission, so
Okay.
we got the permission to go, and the county said as long as we're not on their easement, we're okay.
And from what I remember about the signage ordinances, I think you're okay there. I have to double check, but I'm quite sure you're okay there. Lakeside,
You gonna do that for me?
I can, sure.
And as far as Barnett's property, you probably want to put Osprey Point on that one.
Do what?
Put Osprey
You
Point on that
mess
one.
up. when you
No,
start putting
no, he
commercial
said
on
he
the
didn't
sign,
care.
you mess it
Yeah.
up.
I
Yeah.
asked him about that. I said, all we're trying to do is get people directed. And he said, I think it's a good idea. And I said, the big thing we want everybody to realize is we are not advertising anybody's business. We are
Yeah.
just wayfaring. He said, I think that's a good idea. He
Yeah.
said, just let me see what it looks like. And that's why I say, if it doesn't go through on his property, we'll hide on the other side of the street.
I'm just saying that we have large motor homes that really have a hard time negotiating and they want to know how to get to where they're headed for. It's been on down the road. if nothing else,
Yeah, directional signs are different, usually exempt, but they're usually a certain size and they're usually really small. So these look like they might be a little large. So yeah, we'll check our sign code. I'll actually have a note and
Yeah, each one of
if
those
you,
cross
or
boards.
somebody has your contact information, we can get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
usually there's a permit process and things. to go
Each
through.
one of those boards is gonna be 8 inches. 4 of them. And they're gonna be
Yeah,
6
that's a
feet
quite
long,
large
so they're
sign,
big,
so, yeah.
but they should draw their attention.
Yeah, so we just need to do our sign code and check in. If we don't have a sign permit process, we should. So,
Yeah.
but we'll check.
And any suggestions, if you want us to put county park plus RV, we can make that part of the signage too. Give us suggestions, so let us know what you want.
Great.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diane. I don't believe we need a formal motion to approve this, do we, Melissa?
No,
Yeah, so I don't know.
we'll work with the group.
Good idea. Thank you. All right, so now we move on to city reports, our committees, our admin committee, starting with our admin committee.
Okay, our admin committee met last Tuesday and our new city manager was there. We went over a number of things that may need to be tuned up, changed. It was a good meeting and lots of information. Discussed the airport fence grant with the matching funds that our manager was talking about a few moments ago. Possible changes in office procedures and just possible changes in many things that we do here that look like a good direction to go.
I mean, anytime we have a new city manager, things are going to be a little bit different. And so there's gonna be an adjustment going on, even with the agenda. And we definitely want to say thanks to Dyer for doing the matching funds. Other than that, just, yeah, just going through the basics that we always go through, pretty standard. I really don't have much to.
All right. Okay, B is public works.
Okay, public works. We met with Dennis Langley and Melissa Bethel and the mayor and discussed some of the projects that are going on in town and some of the possible changes that we might want to make in the way the committees operate, and talked about many things. Dennis told us about the PUD removing some trees for us, and Melissa Sanitary picking up the pieces, all at no charge to the city. So that was good. That's about it. Everything looking good.
Airport Committee, the Airport Committee has not met for several months. However, I did talk to Jim Hill, who is our ex officio city airport manager, the other day, and just to inform him about what's going on with the airport, the fencing project and the camping project and the trees. So he said that in the near future, they will be meeting again as a committee. So once they do, we'll have more information. And after that is watershed. Oh yeah, Miller.
Watershed board met Tuesday night and was attended by our Melissa, our new city manager, and the mayor both, which was nice to see. The main topic was possibility of some land acquisition of Big Creek to restore some wetland areas, and so that was the gist of the bulk of the meeting.
Thanks, Tom. Anything to add, Melissa?
No.
All right. All right. So next is the water district.
Okay. Our city manager came to the water district meeting as well, and so we had a chance to introduce you to that. Most of the meeting was covering Osprey Point and their desire to get the village hooked up to directly to the city. And there was a lot of discussion of that. And so that's going to be an ongoing thing. You know, just getting this separated, separated from the rest of it. Okay, I don't know if that's it. That's all pretty much out.
All right. Come Out Lake Association, I did attend their meeting last week. I think it was last week. They have the usual concerns, their membership drive, trying to get people to join their association, and their events such as the Lake Cleanup Day, which is close to, I think it's a week or so, weekend or a couple days after the Earth Day.
April 23rd.
April 23rd. Is who spoke up?
Renee did.
Renee? Okay.
April 23rd, Lake Cleanup.
Saturday, the day after.
All right. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't take notes. I'm just going off. And what else was there, Renee? Anything else?
Free hot dogs after cleanup.
Less sanitation is providing the dumpster free of charge, which is necessary.
It's always a good event. They do a tremendous job out cleaning up all the trash out the lake. All right. Fire district report, Mr. Pointer.
Yes, we had our fire district board meeting last night, and the main topic we worked on was our process to make our fire chief full-time chief rather than part-time chief. And we approved the contract we were going to offer, and we're looking into a few further legal details, but that process is ongoing. Discuss some of the grants that may be available to us and the process of applying for them. And last month there were fewer calls than the month before, but still a busy month. These guys are doing a fantastic job.
Really are. Thank you, Alan. City manager report. You're on.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, I appreciate you all. You've been very welcoming, and it's been a busy, full first week. As you'll notice, I did get out to a lot of meetings. That's my intent. I wanted to form relationships. And so I did get to the Water District, Watershed, Library Board, and a couple of other meetings, and just out meeting people. Not that I'll remember anybody at this point, but just want them to see my face and know that I'm here. My door is open. And I didn't get to the fire district meeting. That was the one I was tired by that time. I was done. But I will get to that one, and there are several others. It seems like every time I listen in on one of these meetings before I was even here or now, I have new ideas for me. Shirley just keeps me pumping when she talks. So I'm on the cemetery thing. My brain has been on that. So I want to give a big thank you to our employees. It's hard having new management come in. And like Charlene said, Councilwoman Charlene says, there are changes and everybody has their own way of doing things. And as long as we're not breaking laws. And my goal is, I don't want to change things for change's sake. I really do want to make things efficient and more cost effective, especially for our city, right? So their minds are blown. They're spinning, and I did tell them they are going to work harder, but hopefully more efficiently. We'll do a lot more for our citizens, but we are going to try to be efficient at it. Sometimes that costs money. So we'll see, which leads me into our new employee, Rick Salvita, our new wastewater supervisor. Boy, if you get a chance to talk to him, he is very knowledgeable. I am so excited. We're on the same wavelength of how we dealt with cities in the past in our big projects. And so you are in good hands with this wastewater project coming up. When you have multi-million-dollar projects, I am comfortable. It feels really good to know that I have a backup there, that we both think alike. We both have been involved in big projects. And so it's going to be wonderful. And I think we're going to do well. And so we have our engineer behind us, but we also have 2 staff that you're going to be okay. And we're excited. We just have to wait 2 years for groundbreaking. You're right. We're looking at complementing the money that we're missing. We're about 4 million short on that project. And so we're looking at low interest loans. And so we'll be looking at that and bringing you guys proposals for that. What else do we have? I have toured the city with Rick from a wastewater perspective, looking at the plants, looking at what's going to happen, looking at where we are. There's quite a few changes out at the plant Rick wants to make. Obviously, he's coming in, seeing things that need to be updated or changed. I think the guys, they ordered about $150 worth of cleaning supplies. So those poor guys have been out there cleaning. I'm excited. I told them to take before and after pictures. So I really do appreciate the employees. They're just handling this really well, and I'm excited. I went on a tour with Dennis, who's our public works supervisor, from his perspective of what needs to be done with streets, stormwater. He showed me the city limits, where we go, all the hilltops and the views. And, still didn't find a house, but anyway. But so I've been doing that also, getting with the employees and seeing it from the perspective and what their goals are. I am looking into with the Department of Revenue to get our marijuana and our tourism dollars contracted out with them, so they collect them for us. It is very popular in Oregon with most cities doing that. Very few are holding out. I think we're one of them. They do take a small percentage off the top. It's very small, and it is so worth them doing it. They will go after them. We don't have to do anything. We're not the middle guy anymore. And so we just collect a check from them. And so I'm going to be looking at doing that and having that'll come before you with some contracts. And budget's coming up. So next month we'll start the process and start with appointments of the committee, your budget officer, and then I'm going to be working to get the books put together this year. It'll be different. I'm used to a budget book that has pictures and narratives and is user-friendly and easy to read. Anything we're changing or adding or proposing will be narrative out. So you will be able to see exactly what we're doing, what's changed. So hopefully the citizens and you will feel comfortable in that budget, and it will be very transparent. Other than that, I think I've talked enough, and thank you. Welcome. That's great.
Thank you, Melissa. And I think I can speak for the council. We're here to support you and any way we can. With our full support. Very good. So that concludes our business for tonight. And the short meeting there. Good. You have a question?
Well, yeah, sorry. In the manager report, we have updates on projects.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay.
sorry. Airport fencing project, we talked about, it is ongoing. You approved the contract tonight, so we'll get that sent off immediately. And then our city engineer is working directly with the bid documents, and we'll get those out. So that is going on. The railroad crossing project, I'm going to admit, and I apologize now, I am not up to speed on that as well as I guess I can be for a week. But it is actually proceeding. We're going to get that going. Our city engineer is also working on that on our behalf too. So it will be done. And you had a planning department. My plan is from here on out, every month you'll have a planning department update memo in your packet for you to read. I don't intend to really talk about it unless there's specific questions. But Rob and Kimberly are putting those together. So every month you'll have just a general planning update. I do caution you that those are going to be general because we don't want to get into specifics about certain applications if they're going to hearing, because you obviously are the appeal body. And so we're not going to get into a dialogue about what exactly they are. We're just going to, it's just informational only. So you're going to, how many applications, how many building permits, that kind of thing, just so you can, what's going on in the city.
Yes, and basically, that's all we were asking for.
Yep. Yep. So there you go.
Good. All right, anything else?
I'd also like to see an update from the library.
From the library.
Yeah.
That was on my list of things. I did go to the library board and talk, and I took notes, and I'm gonna get together with Cheryl.
All right. Okay, now we move on to last item, council comments. I'll start with Councilor Pointer over there.
Okay, I just wanted to say how happy I am to see events taking place in Lakeside, and I think the UTV takeover is be a great thing for us, and we should really try to pursue that. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Sir Miller.
Yeah, I agree with Alan. The volunteers and events that are being planned is great. And welcome, Melissa. I'm excited to have you here. Look forward to working with you.
Where can be?
I think everything is going great right now. I'm all for the UTV. I think that'd be a great benefit for our city. And welcome, Melissa. I haven't had a chance to actually formally come in and meet you. We've talked through the email, but I just think it's great what everybody's doing. I love to see the city, see so many people coming together. It's really nice, and I'm excited about signage too. I think that's very important.
Councilor Higgins.
Yeah, I'm also excited about the UTV takeover. This has the potential for being a very successful thing for our city year after year. Just like the Dune Fest is the largest outdoor sporting event in Oregon. So this definitely has potential for doing a lot for us. I also wanted to let everybody know if you're interested in doing the budget committee, which we have openings, we're going to need people to fill those spots. So if it sounds exciting and you want to come and be a part of it, sign up for potential. I'm excited about the mask ending. Yeah, exactly. So also too, I don't know, in the last month, and I can't remember exactly what day it was, but we had the Coast Guard here at our airport, and they were training for emergency management. And so we're going to see a lot more of that kind of thing as we start to develop our emergency plans, and that was very exciting. And, I think that's it. Okay.
Councilor Nuss.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, I just want to tell everybody on Lakeside and everybody up here, it's been a pleasure and an honor to serve with you guys. Unfortunately, tonight's going to be my last meeting. I'm going to be resigning. I'm going to be traveling. No, I'm going to travel to Europe and use the other skills I have and do everything I can to help people that are suffering over there. So I'll be gone for a while, but don't worry, I'll be back.
Oh, really?
So thank you again.
I
It's been
heard
an honor.
today, I was like, yes, that's
I heard last
exciting.
night, like,
Yeah.
oh, Nicole.
Yeah, I'll leave in 3 weeks, but I just
Wow.
want to tell everybody, thank you. It's been an honor. Don't worry, I'll be back.
Thank you for your service, Don.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Yes, that's awesome.
Where it goes.
Oh, no. No, I'm very happy to see the direction that Lakeside's finally going into and utilizing the tourism aspect of the town. I think that's a direction we've needed to go for a long time, and I'm excited that we have some good events going on. They'll bring a lot of tourist people and a lot of tourist dollars, which is good. The town needs it. That's basically it. Just happy.
Thank you,
I had
Sarah.
people contact me today about the experience Lakeside, so that was pretty cool. People from elsewhere.
Yeah.
All right, I too am excited about the direction the city's taking. I think there's a lot more coming in the future that right now we're not at liberty to discuss, but I think it's going to be a very exciting 5 years. I really do. There's a lot of things going on. The dynamics of the city has changed. I think that some of the older volunteers are worn out, and they did a great service to the city of Lakeside while they were here, the Chamber of Commerce specifically. Many of you have heard they disbanded, and that little group worked very, very hard for the city to bring events into Lakeside, especially most notably the Pride Festival, which a lot of people sorely miss, and who knows, maybe someday it'll come back, but that was one of their highlights, I think. I thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. You guys did a great job while you were in office, and I think most people, everybody in Lakeside appreciates all the hard work you did. I do want to address one thing in my comment period, and that is on December 14, 2021, the city received an email from a concerned citizen alleging air quality at City Hall is posing a dangerous health hazard to the community and to staff personnel who work here. As a result of this complaint, the city hired a company who specializes in air quality testing to conduct testing here in our complex. The company submitted a written report to the city last Friday with conclusive results. There is no hazardous air quality issues existing at City Hall, the library, or the food bank buildings. With the exception of a small patch of pink paint on the old building in the vicinity of the electrical panel, which can be taken care of this summer, there is no cause for concern. A copy of this report is available at City Hall. The report is approximately 45 pages long, and this project did cost the city $1,535. City Hall has never been shut down because of an air quality issue. And although there is no justification for this complaint, we took it seriously and to ease the concerns of public safety within City Hall. Having said that, thank you. Unless somebody else has any other comments for the good of the order.
Yeah, Ms. Dawn.
Yeah.
Thank you, absolutely. And I admire you very much for what you're doing. I think.
Well, I haven't done anything yet.
Enjoy your plan.
What you're planning to do.
Yeah, I think that's highly commendable. It's been a pleasure and honor to work with you. So one thing we do need to do though is to declare that was your official resignation.
Yes.
So we need to declare a vacancy on city council and have it posted immediately. So that we can next month appoint somebody to step into Don's shoes and find.
You won't be new anymore.
Yay.
It'll be hard to find somebody to go to.
Yeah, it'll be a big election in November.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, so if there's no other business, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.